Deep in the forest lived a little boy and a little girl named Hansel and Gretel. They lived with their father and a wicked stepmother. Their father was very, very poor. He was a woodcutter, and they were always very, very hungry. One day, Hansel and Gretel's father said, "We have no money left. There is no more food for us to eat." Then their wicked stepmother said, "We must leave them in the middle of the woods. We cannot afford to feed them." But their father said no. His wife, being persuasive and wicked at heart, she persuaded him to lead his two beloved children into the woods and abandon them. Little did they know, Hansel and Gretel overheard their conversation, and Hansel had a plan. The next day, they all went into the woods. "Wait here," said their father. "Me and your stepmother are going to collect some wood." But, as expected, their parents abandoned them. But Hansel had a plan. He followed the pebbles that he had put on the pathway so that they won't get lost. When their father saw them, he cuddled them, and he was so relieved that they were safe and sound. When Hansel and Gretel's stepmother caught wind that they were safe and sound and that they returned home, she was very, very angry. She insisted, "There is not enough food for us all," she said. "We must take Hansel and Gretel deeper into the woods, and this time make sure that they don't get back home." Of course, their father was not in agreement, but he loved his dear wife so much that he agreed once again. The next day, they all went deep into the woods again. This time, Hansel left breadcrumbs on the floor. As expected, their dad told them to wait again while they could go collect wood, and of course, they never returned. Hansel and Gretel was again abandoned. Hansel and Gretel spent the night in the woods. The next day, they wandered off looking for the breadcrumbs, but to their surprise, the birds had eaten them all up. So they started walking again in hopes that they may find a way back home. After walking for what felt like a very long time, they found a house in the middle of the forest made of entirely sweets and cakes. In the house lived a wicked old lady. The old woman invited them in for a snack. As they entered the house, they noticed that everything in the house was made entirely out of treats. The old lady hurried into the kitchen to make something sweet for the children to eat. "Soon he will be fat enough to eat," said the old lady. "Then I will cook him in my fire." Little did the old lady know that Gretel overheard what she said. She then told her brother Hansel what the old lady was planning to do. And so they came up with a plan. "May I help you make the treats? After all, you were so kind to feed us. It's the least I can do." The old lady agreed to let Gretel help her. When the old lady wasn't looking, Gretel grabbed one of her pots and she banged the old lady in the head. "Quickly, let's go, before she wakes up." So Hansel and Gretel made their way out of the house. Before they left, Gretel noticed behind the house that the old lady hid a treasure chest that contained a lot of gold. She told her brother Hansel, Look at all this money. We can take this home and buy food with it, and hopefully our dad will take us back in. After a long walk, Hansel and Gretel made their way home. Their father was very happy to see them. I got rid of your stepmother. Now we can live in peace. Gretel told her father that they had found gold and they would no longer be poor or hungry. To this, the father was very happy. So Hansel and Gretel lived happily ever after with their dad. The end.
Hey guys. So, welcome to the official tour of my gingerbread house. As you guys would have just seen, I did an introduction to this house, pretty much in the form of a skit with the Hansel and Gretel story. For those of you guys who are familiar with that, of course, I think most of us are, because it's one of the stories that we read as a child. And I actually use, if you guys know the Ladybird books, I actually use that as my reference for the story, because I have a whole bunch of books from when I was a child and even now as a grown-up. So yeah, that was my inspiration. And yeah, so I built this house and I'm like, oh my gosh, this house is so cute. Why not try to film a little skit? And it turned out to be so cool. And now we are on the official tour of the house. So yeah, let me show you guys the inside. So of course, the outside is completely edible and looks so scrumptious. So when we do enter the inside of the house, this is basically what you're met with. And this is the main living space / the hallway area. So over here in this corner we have the ice cream sandwiches couches. Of course everything looks delectable, and the wafer flooring and the, I think it's chocolate or ice cream sandwich themed walls. And guys, have you seen this painting in the game before? Because I'm pretty sure that's a picture from the Sims mobile, so that's pretty cool. I found it and I was like, okay, I'm gonna use that. It's perfect for this house. So yeah, so over here we have the candy bookshelf, and we just have everything just made out of candy and sweets and treats, and I loved every aspect of this entryway. It's so cute. And then we have this little table over here. I went ahead and add the eggnog that we got. I think it's from the Influence Island, I'm not sure. So I added that in there. Let me just pop into the bedroom and show you guys what it looks like. So we have the, I think it's the, is it the Lego beds? I think it's the Lego beds. The 2 Lego beds or whatever, that update that we got. I decided to use those beds just because it was so colorful and because it's 2 children, Hansel and Gretel. So I found that to be a cool fit. And so the old lady, she basically made a room for them. So yeah, so that's the room. It's pretty cozy, just, cute, snug. It fits literally just 2 children. And of course it's made of sweets and stuff. So yeah, so that's the bedroom area. Let me show you guys the extended living space. And over here we have the TV area with some party decorations, and then we have a chocolate, strawberry, and I think that's mint ice cream fountain. So that's pretty cool as well. I also went ahead to add in some, I would say, a little space that could attract children. She has a little dolly house, again, supposedly quote unquote made out of treats and stuff. So you know, everything is just very, very sweet themed and colorful, and I think I really enjoyed putting this build together because it's really out of my comfort zone, and you don't really get to use these items in general. Like, when do you ever get to use an ice cream sandwich couch without having to make the house you know, seem very playful? So I had a lot of fun because I have been wanting to use these items for so long, and I never got the chance, and I found that this house just made everything come together, and I loved every aspect of building this house. All right, so I showed you guys the two main living spaces, and I also showed you guys the bedroom. Let me pop into the bathroom, and then I'm gonna show you guys my favorite my favorite room in the entire house, which is the kitchen. So we're gonna pop into the bathroom. The bathroom is just pretty small and cute. We have a tub. We also have, I think, the sink and the toilet over here. And yeah, I mean, it's just a pretty standard bathroom, nothing too extravagant. And I did choose these lights because I just feel like they look like floating, maybe cotton candies or candy balls or something like that. I just found that they suit very well with the theme. So that was my choice. All right, so let me just get Hansel and Gretel to go into the kitchen, and then you guys can see what I did in there. All right, guys, so let's make our way into the kitchen. So this is the kitchen, guys. This is what I did with the kitchen. So if you guys know the original counters that we have, they are made out of cake, but because I wanted this to seem very like a cottage themed kitchen, also the fact that the fridge and the stove is very gingerbread brown themed, I'm like, okay, I want everything to match. So that is why I chose the cottage cabinets to go along in this kitchen, and I think it worked pretty well. I think it actually looks like chocolate. So yeah, so I of course made my name with adding all these sweets and treats that I could possibly find that could fit. And of course she has her trusty cake mixer over there, and yeah, her gingerbread stove and her Pop-Tart fridge. So everything is just so cute, and I just love how it turned out. So yeah, so this table, I really can't remember what update this was, but I know it had something to do with like a party theme for children. And if you guys look very closely, they have a hot dog, they have a cupcake, and they have a milkshake. So again, I went with this table because I'm like, okay, this is perfect. The grandma can just be there cooking up some sweets, and then they could literally be in the kitchen just having all these desserts. And I'm just like, okay, this is so cool, and this is why I chose this table. So yeah, so this is basically my favorite room in the entire house, just because it's where all the magic happens, and I just feel like it brings the entire house together. And yeah, I am really excited for this build. This is my first build of December. I didn't really plan on building a gingerbread house, but here we are. So yeah, but guys, that is basically it for the tour of the house. Of course, you guys know I will include the screenshots and the floor plans at the end of the video. But yeah, so I'm basically gonna wrap it up here. Once again, thank you guys so much for all my new subscribers, and to my loyal ones who always comment and like my videos. I really appreciate each and every one of you. And of course, if you are new to the channel and you have not yet subscribed, if you do like my content, what is happening with me today? Do go ahead and press that subscribe button. It will help me out a lot. And with that being said, I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.